Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Digital India Podcast on FIR Podcast Network. This show is weekly updates brought to you by staff and students of Web Marketing Academy. This show gives you the latest updates in the digital marketing world in India. Today is the 29th of June 2015 and we are giving you updates of the last 7 days. Top headlines for this week: Satya Nadella, Tom Enders, Cyrus Mistry, Mukesh Ambani among the 400 to attend Digital India launch. The second story we have is about 85% of India retailers in 2015 say email marketing as their primary channel for customer engagement. The third story we have for today is about shoppers hitting the e-way and slow pacing brick and mortar retailers. The fourth story we have for today is about building a rewarding career in digital marketing in India. A couple of statistics being discussed here. And last but not the least, we have a story from our very own Bollywood. Hrithik Roshan joins the 10 million fan league on Twitter. Here are some detailed stories. According to the Economic Times, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, Airbus Group CEO Tom Enders, Tata Group Chairperson Cyrus Mistry, Reliance Industries Chairperson Mukesh Ambani and Wipro Chairperson Azim Premji will be among the 400 corporate honchos who will attend the launch of government's ambitious Digital India initiative on July 1st. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to launch the logo for the $1.78 billion project using a laser beam in front of an audience of about 10,000 people. As many as 50 ambassadors and high commissioners are expected to attend the event. A number of memorandum of understanding for investment proposals will also be signed on that day. Modi is expected to launch e-education, e-health and telemedicine services under the Digital India initiative. The Prime Minister will also launch a digital locker facility that will help citizens to store documents such as their PAN card, passports, mark sheets and degree certificates. The Communications and the IT Ministry under Ravi Shankar Prasad is the nodal agency for the implementation of Modi's pet project, which is aimed at digitally connecting 1 billion people across the country in the next 5 years and delivering social and economic services digitally to them. The Prime Minister is also expected to launch Wi-Fi services at 50 tourist cities, including Konark and Hampi. And before we move on to the next detailed story, we have a tool for you. Now, this tool is listed by Brian Essenberg on his website called bryanessenberg.com. That's BRYANEISENBERG. And the tool is called GREXIT. That's Grexit, GREXIT. So if you're using Google Apps, then you may want to supercharge your account with Grexit because this tool converts your regular Gmail into a very powerful collaboration tool to help you easily manage your project management workflow. Now there are two options. One is that there's a free option in this tool and then the pricing starts say about $5 per month. So please do use this tool and let us know if this tool is helping you in becoming better digital marketers. The second story we have for today is from the financialexpress.com and it's talking about how 85% of India retailers in 2015 say that email marketing is their primary channel for customer engagement. Octanego.com, that's OCTANEGO.com, celebrated the ReTechCon, that's Retail Technology Conclave, being organized by RAI by releasing the third edition of its retail e-marketing research. With the ardent participation from more than 80 plus retailers across India, this study is expected to encapsulate the present state of retail marketing in India. Key highlights in India Retail E-Marketing Study are: customer acquisition still remains the primary marketing goal of India retailers, with 58% of the retailers voting for the same. Social media is voted as the primary online activity by 79% of India retail marketeers, and that is close to about 30% increase compared to 2014. Print promotion, that's about 77% opting for it, remains the top choice of retailers as their preferred offline marketing activity. More than 85% of Indian retail marketers vote for email as their important channel for marketing. Email marketing continues in the top 3 online marketing channel for retail in India. 95% of the retailers said that mobile is important or very important to them as they use it as a part of their marketing strategy. 72% of e-commerce companies with a turnover of 0.2 billion to 1 billion generate 30% or more of the revenue from online marketing. Shopping cart abandonment is an important issue for all online retailers. Deploying simple cart abandonment program, that CAP, increases revenue by improving cart abandonment rates. Yet, only 12% of Indian retail marketers have deployed cart abandonment program currently. Before we move on to the next story, I have a tool for you again from brianessenberg.com. This tool is called Fan Player, that's FANPLAYR. Fan Player uses big data so that you can analyze, segment and target your audience. With this real-time information, you will be able to create customized content and offers which will help you obviously increase your conversations. And the third story we have for today is from the Times of India, and they are talking about how shoppers are hitting the e-way and thus there is slow pace for brick and mortar retailers. The retail shopping industry in the Lake City could be staring at a crisis situation as it is fast losing its customer base to the growing online shopping industry. The Association of Retail Traders in Thane. Now, Thane is a city in Maharashtra. That's a state in India. The Association for Retail Traders in Thane claim nearly 5% of retail outlets in the city have either shut shop or are in the process of winding up their business in the city as a sizable chunk of customers are being weaned away by the digital medium. The e-commerce system is damaging the prospects for the retail industry. A notable number of retailers across the spectrums are being affected. Few retail units in Thane have shut shop as it is difficult to manage with dwindling customer base and high taxation, said Mulchand Gala, who is the president of Thane Retail Traders Welfare Association. Experts say that the e-commerce is giving the retail shops here a run for their money as overheads are comparatively less, and this has invited more players in this field. There are over 40 million registered users with nearly 30,000 merchants trading nearly 20 million products on the digital platform today. An online company doesn't have to invest in heavy rentals in the city. It saves on electricity, employee salaries, which isn't the case with retailers, observes an industry player. A Thane civic official says that these portals are also beyond the ambit of local taxation net. Wow, that is a lot for e-commerce industry. A lot of people moving into the e-commerce world, buying it online. And yes, there's a change in the medium of communication. The best thing for the brick and mortar stores now is to adapt, have an e-commerce portal of their own, or become an affiliate for some of the biggies in the e-commerce world. And before we move on to the next story, I have another tip for you, and this tool is called Host. That's HOSTT. Now, Host is a free web hosting solution that allows you to easily and rather cheaply host your website for the cost of a domain each year. The total investment being about $14 a year. You have the ability to automatically install WordPress, Joomla, and many other CMS solutions on this site. That's again another tool listed on brianessenberg.com. The fourth story we have for today is about building a rewarding career in digital marketing in India. Now, here is some statistics which says that there are over 2,000 jobs for digital marketing on different job portals. Interestingly, social media marketing alone has 1,700 jobs associated with it compared to other popular industries which has only 642 jobs for big data. Given the increasing gap between the demand and supply for digital marketing professionals, a digital marketer commands a much higher salary, an average higher salary compared to other industries. A report by the Internet and Mobile Association of India claims that the number of online users will rise to more than half a billion in 2018, which was 190 million users just in June 2014. India took over 10 years to move from 10 million to 100 million internet users. According to a report called Digital Advertising in India, jointly published by IAMAI and IMRB, the value of online advertising market in India is expected to increase to 35 billion in 2015 from 28 billion a year ago. That's about 30% year on year growth. Indian e-commerce industry to cross 16 billion US dollars in 2015 according to a recent study by ASSOCHAM and Deloitte. The digital e-commerce market in India has grown steadily from $4.4 billion in 2010 to $13.6 billion in 2014 and likely to touch $16 billion by the end of 2015. Interestingly, online travel currently constitutes to over 70% of the market, but e-tailing is expected to drive the future growth. When we're talking about digital marketing in India, it's overwhelming because our very own WMA, that's Web Marketing Academy, has graduated close to about 600 professionals under a one-to-one direct training in batches, that kind of a program. Then we have touched the lives of over 200 professionals under the corporate training program, about 1,000 college students through various workshops and conferences, and another 3,500 professionals through the online marketing enthusiast meetups. Some of our alumni are now working in Google, in Accenture, Cognizant, and Times. The number of professionals registering for digital marketing has kind of grown significantly in the last 1 year, and especially so in the last 1 quarter. In fact, we have students in waiting lists for the next few months. Professional kind of travel across India, from Pune and Kolkata and sometimes even from Nepal to come all the way to Bangalore and learn digital marketing at WMA. We're currently working on a detailed report for the scope of digital marketing in India and trying to base that from the kind of learnings we've had in the last half a decade. So we're hoping to publish this in August. So let's see how this goes. As soon as we publish, we should be able to give you the link. And before we move on to our next story, I have the 4th tip for today, and the tool is called RIGNITE, Rignite. Another collaboration tool which is ideal for social media campaigns. With Rignite, you can monitor multiple social media platforms, schedule posts, and have access to campaign reports. While Hootsuite and Buffer have been used in the past for monitoring and scheduling, according to Brian, they both don't include the collaborative features of Rignite. After a 14-day free trial, the plans begin at almost $28 US per month. I hope that's of some help to you because scheduling posts over multiple social media platforms has always been a nightmare. And the next story and the last story we have for today is about Hrithik Roshan joining the 10 million fan league on Twitter. And this story is from indiatoday.in. Joining the league of Bollywood megastars like Shah Rukh Khan, Amir Khan and Priyanka Chopra, actor Hrithik Roshan has become the latest B-Town celebrity to get over 10 million followers on microblogging site Twitter. The 41-year-old actor is happy on crossing the 10 million mark on Twitter and thanked his fans for being his inspiration. His tweet said, "Oi, I crossed 10 million. Just realized. How wonderful. Thanks guys. You all are my biggest inspiration and my deepest reason to be and serve at my best." Hrithik, who joined Twitter in February 2010, has added a feather to his hat by crossing the 10 million mark on Twitter. Hrithik is behind megastar Amitabh Bachchan, who has 15.5 million fans, Shah Rukh Khan, who has 13.8 million, Salman Khan, who has 12.6 million, and Amir Khan, who enjoys a whole 13.3 million followers on Twitter. Those were the top stories for today. And before we close this episode, I want to give you a heads up on celebrating the World Social Media Day on June 30th. There's a day-long event that's been organized by Conophilia and is being held at Christ University at Namma, Bengaluru. Our very own Suresh Babu, CEO of Web Marketing Academy, Prashant Naidu, founder of LighthouseInsights.in, Rohit Verma, founder of R Square Consulting, Falguni Vasudev Oza, that's the associate professor from MICA, Ritu David, founding CEO, Ritu David Consulting, Ganga Ganpati, VP Ogilvy, and Shakti, founder of The Quill, will be the speakers for tomorrow. About 200 participants are expected to attend the event. And here is a curtain raiser for the event. We have with us founder CEO Dr. Khushbu Pandya from Conophilia. Welcome to the show, Khushbu.
Thank you, Mansi.
And we have with us founder CEO Suresh Babu from Web Marketing Academy. Welcome, Suresh.
Thank you so much.
And we have with us our very own Monica, a faculty at WMA and an independent consultant in digital marketing at our studio. Welcome to the show, Monica.
Thank you.
Okay, let's start with you, Khushbu. Dr. Khushbu Pandya, a PhD in social media and consumer behavior. My first question to you, Khushbu, is that there is a PhD program in India for social media, really?
Yeah, and that's
yes.
been asked like 100
million
and only in the last few days, maybe 100th time.
Okay.
Yes, so it's not actually PhD programs available in social media, but you can take up your own topics when you enroll into any PhD programs. So it was my choice to do back in 2009. I chose something has to be done into the field of social media. It was very, very new then back in 2009. So I combined it with consumer behavior because I wanted to study what is trending in internet marketing, and that time it was social media. So social media combined with consumer behavior. So that was the study of my research.
How easy or how difficult was it to first of all find a guide and secondly look at primary research?
Very, very difficult, in fact, to convince the guide and university to take up this study because it was very, very new. It was at a very nascent stage at this time, and even nobody understood the scene behind social media. It took me like around about 9 interviews to convince them to the university and to the guide itself, and then obviously we have to be convinced by ourselves from inside that this is something which is very, very possible. So it was a little hard, but yes, the journey was very, very interesting.
Alright, for all our listeners out there, if you're listening, yes, you could get a doctorate in India on social media. Well, Khushbu, now let's move on to this actual topic. Tuesday. Tomorrow is a Tuesday and 30th of June. I think everybody would have asked you this question. Why an event tomorrow? So I have the same question for you from all our listeners. So why do we have an event tomorrow on a working day?
Yes, because the importance is of the date. It's 30th June and it is celebrated as World Social Media Day. And if you Google it out, Mashable started in 2010. So it is the 6th annual World Social Media Day happening tomorrow. And it is being organized by independent organizers everywhere in the world. So tomorrow, internet would be flowing out of all the information about social media, about all of the speakers that would be contributing to the social media industry. So if you're a Twitter user, you should definitely look out for all the updates happening tomorrow.
So what is the hashtag for the event?
Yes, the event hashtag for tomorrow is hashtag TSC 2015.
That's the Social Conclave 2015.
Yes.
TSC 2015.
Yes.
All right. So Suresh, my question to you would be that you're participating in this as a participant and as somebody who's been in the industry so long. What would you have to say about the World Social Media Day being celebrated in Namma, Bengaluru?
So the first thing, I was excited when Khushbu told to me that, hey, we are going to have it in Bangalore. So I was excited about that. But to go back a little bit in the past, from being a cook to coming to digital and social media, it's quite a different. I'm not tech savvy, or I did not know anything about social or digital. But when I got into it, I realized that it is absolutely important that we be social. And for me, being in another country and with knowing nothing, it was difficult. But what I did during those days was I had an opportunity to go and meet in business meetings and chamber of commerce meetings, conferences, and then I went to the conferences. That is where I learned a lot of things about digital and social media. So I strongly believe in conferences. So I'm happy to see these kinds of conferences happening here in India, especially in Bangalore, when Kushbu said, hey, we are going to do it in Bangalore. So there are not many events that is happening, even though we have events in India, but not much, which is focusing on several areas and the speakers. It's always a challenge. But I'm hoping tomorrow it is going to be exciting, because we actually organize this in such a way. It is going to be interesting, and the speakers lineup are really good. That's what we're going to see, and we are going to look into a lot of other things.
Perfect. So Monica, see, I look at you as, since you're this independent digital marketing consultant, I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask for people who are attending the conference and what to expect. What are the kind of speakers who are there? So could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, social has played a very important part in my career as well. So especially LinkedIn and Twitter are two channels that I really attribute to for my career. And as a trainer here, I get a lot of questions from the students. And I thank you for this opportunity, because you're giving us a platform to ask those questions and get the information from the right people. Some of the things which the students like to know is, what are the social media roles available? What are the responsibilities? What is the ROI of social media? And like for B2B, B2C, how do we manage? Or, so many channels are coming up. Every time people are familiar with Facebook, and then Snapchat is there. So what do we use? How do we use? I just wanted to understand from you, there are basic principles to all social media. So would that be something which we can learn from you tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. Like, there are expert speakers coming in tomorrow. If you see the lineup, which definitely Suresh will tell you later, they are the industry experts, thought leaders, if we can say like that. A lot of experience where they have learned social by themselves, by experiencing it. What we can say is that they learned it themselves, where they might have done some mistakes as well, and we can learn more from our mistakes as well. So the speakers that they would share their experiences, their lot of knowledge and everything. So it would answer many questions, whether it's coming from student or whether it's coming from any agency person. So a lot of that kind of discussions would be happening. So I would keep that secret part that into the show. So one has to come to the show and experience that by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of students from WMA are very excited, and a good amount of people are going to be there.
Yeah. Right. So one of the things that I noticed is before we went to Christ, and I was discussing with some students. Me and Kushbu were interacting with students of Christ University, that is MBA students. I asked how many people have Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Not many people. So as a speaker, I'll have to try to balance between people who have no clue at all, and for people who are already know. So there is a mix of people who are going to come there. So as a speaker, I think if all the speakers get an awareness, or this is what the thing is, they should be able to balance. That is a good speaker should be able to manage that, but it is very difficult because of the time, half an hour or 45 minutes. So I think Kushbu is trying to communicate with the speakers that there are some challenges that we need to face, because every conferences that we go, that is one of the biggest challenge we see, because how to balance it. So like, I'm going to be basic. I mean, if you want advanced level, we can have a workshop, but this is going to be somewhat basic and some advanced, so that the people who are experienced also get some advanced steps. But I'm trying to keep like 75% for some basic foundation, and then around 25% for people who are practicing. Example I'll give you. How many of you use Periscope? When we say Periscope, when we say Periscope, not just viewing, but how many of us do Periscope,
Recording, yeah.
right? So viewing is different, but participating is different. If you look at the map of Periscope, Periscope has got a map. All the places you will see scoping, except India, right? So still our culture in India is like that. We are not, we cannot go and talk openly. So that is also a challenge. So how do we address all those things is what we are going to do. But that being said, there would be a lot of takeaways from the event, and that's what we are going to do. So for my focus is to be foundation a little bit, and then give the rest too.
See, we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about Periscope. I want to put a stop here and then take a few steps back. Let's say about 6 years ago, when things started happening in the social media space in India, there were people who spoke that India is a developed, socialized country, because even the neighbor knows what you're cooking.
Right.
Okay, if you want your son or daughter to be picked up, you just tell your neighbor and probably. So that kind of socializing levels is what is there in India. And they said that social media would never be a hit in a country like India. But today, social media is quite a huge hit, right? So the question is, where are we heading to? From 6 years ago, where social media would never take off, to India being the second largest on Facebook, to people started using Periscope right now. Where are we heading?
As far as our training is concerned, even this itself we can see a trend, right? We were looking at the statistics, and we are looking at the growth in the past 2 years. It's gone significant. Why? Because everybody realizes that it is necessary. It's not a additional skill to have. It is a skill that is a necessity today's world. So that we are seeing from a career perspective, and we have seen, for example, to give a simple statistics, we used to train maybe 50 in 2011. Training 50 students a year is good, but now in the last year, 2014 alone, we trained almost 150. So students. So we see the trend which is going. Everybody realizes, and there are people who are waiting to get into this, even though we are taking enough people. So we see that trend is coming up, and every single news channel, newspaper, everything they are talking about it. We see everywhere the funding in e-commerce, the ad spend in India, the companies coming up, setting up in India is growing. So that is what we are seeing as a trend. So it is going to go in the next 5 years. It's going to become a normal thing. But again, I think one challenge that we face is the culture and how we are. Our culture is we can consume. We are not active participants in social media. When we say social media, most of them, what I see is we'll go and consume, but to interact and share, we're not used to it.
Correct. I do agree with that thing.
So what has been your experience, Dr. Khushbu? When you start talking to your clients, okay, do they know social media well and want to jump into it, or they've seen their competitors and therefore they want to do it, or is it just that quarterly ending there's money, so let's use it? How does this trend come into you?
All the mixes whatever you said. They have the little bit idea as well. Few of them who are international clients, like they are the professionals, not the companies. They are the artists. Some of them are authors or singers or those kind of people. They have the very good idea. They also know what they want to do it. It's only that they don't have the time for themselves, because they are engaged into their own activities of writing or singing or something like that. So they don't have the time to do it themselves. So that is the reason they want some expert to guide them, be by the side with them as they are consultant. So that is there from the city which I come. I've usually started awareness programs over there, because they don't have the total awareness what social media exactly is. So social media is just WhatsApp and Facebook for someone. So it's just beyond WhatsApp and Facebook. So you have to give the total awareness, you have to educate your client first of all what social media is, and what is in it for them. Is it because some B2B companies, they might not need social media, or they might need social media in a very different level, only just LinkedIn, or for example only some of the groups in LinkedIn, not the LinkedIn itself. So you have to do your market research as an agency yourself, first of all, for the client, educate them the whole thing, and then look out and consult them like being their friend. So it has been a very different journey for me, because I, being an independent consultant myself, and then setting up a company which is also not very big. It's just 5 team member company. So there are various different experience with each another, every clients. Yeah.
So I think, as you rightly mentioned, there are people who think WhatsApp and Facebook is just one. Suresh, in your experience, okay, you've had so many students come, and then when they talk to you saying that, oh my God, there's so much in digital marketing. What is your words for them?
I just say this is just the beginning. You just landed here. There's a whole different world behind you. You just started. So it's just, even they get excited. The initial class, for example, introduction itself, they get so excited. But it's an ocean, right? And every single subject for them they're going into a forest, and they're exploring a lot of things. So talking about that, I want to talk about something about the agencies as well. Mm-hmm. Now, the agencies are also getting into this one, right? Traditional agencies are taking an interest, and they're giving a lot of thoughts in digital, and because there's no other choice, right? And that is traditional marketing. And then especially in India, right, people are companies like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google, every company is helping small businesses. In other countries, it is not. Being in another place, I'm just sharing my experience. What I see here is these companies act as an agency itself.
Correct.
Right.
So you go approach Facebook, or even Facebook and Google approaches small businesses and saying, this is what we are going to do. We are going to set up, we are going to take care of all these things. And that is one of the things, I think, I'm not sure this happened in December 2014, correct? There was this Nissan LinkedIn campaign which they targeted. I'm sure that LinkedIn has helped Nissan to saying this is what the campaign. So they give also the strategy. Again, this is my take. It's not. I'm not. This is, you can quote me. But I'm thinking that LinkedIn has completely helped them in running this campaign. Where this I was listening to Rainmaker.fm. They were discussing about this LinkedIn campaign that Nissan ran for India, and I was going through it a few months back, but when they discussed, I wanted to revisit that. So some of the stats was 88.9% in-mail open rate.
Wow, that's
right?
one of its
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, so people, for those who don't know what is in-mail, LinkedIn has got an advertising program where it is like an email campaign. So it will go to the inboxes. Now, how they targeted, they used custom audience. For those who don't know what is custom audience, you can target people using phone numbers or email addresses. So it's pinpoint and targeting. In Facebook, there is custom audience and lookalike audience. Here also you have, in Twitter also you have. So they use this campaign to target specific people, especially people who got a different job change. So they targeted people who had a change in their career. So they moved on to a next level, for example. So when they move on to the next level, for example, if Bharani is going to the next level to a CEO or something, automatically he's going to get a good raise, and he can afford Nissan. Right? So it was exactly targeted, and out of that we saw some statistics, which is 45 test drives they got from this leads they got.
Wow.
That is test drive. That is a huge, significant numbers.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know how long they ran it for, but for maybe a month or so. But see, that's a good thing, right? So it's not only agencies, but even Facebook, LinkedIn, every other organization is helping small businesses, and whomever wants help.
No, that's a lot of creativity and innovation, because who would have thought you're going to sell cars using social media?
Yeah.
It was good for shoes, it was good for apparels, basically small and lesser lifetime value kind of things, not big budget things like cars.
Right.
So that's a brilliant
Yeah.
campaign.
So this in that Rainmaker FM, they were discussing about how LinkedIn not only used for B2B but also B2C.
Right.
We always talk about B2B about LinkedIn, but there are some good examples of B2C, which is what, and that brings up a point that I'm going to give some tips on LinkedIn.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes,
So
please.
did you know that you can actually drag your sections up and down?
On the profile?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can actually click on one particular section and move up, drag up and down. So that is, so if you want to highlight certain things, you can actually move up and down. And in each sections you can add pictures, YouTube videos, slide share.
Each
in
of the sections.
each of the sections.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
So it is, see, LinkedIn is known for this text, right? Everybody thinks it's like boring text, but to make it stand out, here is something you can do. You can go to each section and click on the add media, that button, and click on it. You can actually give a link to YouTube, or you can slide share. When you upload slide share itself, it will ask you whether you want to connect it to LinkedIn. If you connect it automatically goes. And you can add some pictures. So you can think about creative ways, and maybe you're doing a conference. For example, we are doing this conference. The speakers and participants can actually upload a picture of the conference or a video of the conference or slide share speakers that they can do. And you can actually also move the skills section. You can actually move, people have endorsed you for skills.
Right.
You can actually move that one up and down. So people have endorsed for digital marketing. So you don't want digital marketing in the first. You can move down and up. So you click on edit. You can actually
So
scroll
basically,
down.
you get to showcase your core competencies
Exactly.
at a higher order.
Yes.
Wow.
And one last tip: check out Sales Navigator. It's an awesome thing for sales people who are in sales. But the thing is, in Sales Navigator, actually you can target people. It is for leads, so you can create leads. You can actually target people who are working in IBM, for example, in Bangalore, and you can see their activities, and you can create an alert where if there is some activity that person or that people in that company are doing, it will send you an alert. So it's a paid one, but you can try it for 1 month free. It's a good one. So that is my tip.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Suresh. And before we wind up, here is a quick reminder. Now you could follow us on Twitter, and the hashtag is TSC2015, the social conclave. That's TSC2015. And we're going to start tweeting all the way from 9:30 tomorrow. And Khushbu, do you have any other things to add on this?
People can find me at all the social media platforms. Just type Dr. Khushbu Pandya, and on Twitter it's Pandya_Khushbu.
PANDYA_.
Khushbu.
Awesome. And will we be periscoping the event as well tomorrow?
See, that is another challenge in India because the connectivity is not, internet connection is not that fast, but we are going to try our best to do Periscope.
So if people want to follow the event on Periscope, where should they go?
It would be my Twitter account. That would be Suresh Babu, SURESHBABU_.
Okay, thank you so much, Suresh. Thank you so much, Khushbu, and thank you so
you,
much,
Mansi.
Monica. Thank you. And since this is a new show, it would be of great help if you could share your ratings and reviews with us. Please give us your feedback. For those of you who are listening to us and have something to say, you can leave a comment in the comment section below, and you could get in touch with us on SURESH, that's Suresh at webmarketingacademy.in. I hope you've enjoyed the weekly updates and the small little curtain raiser we've had for the upcoming The Social Conclave. This is happening tomorrow, that's 30th June at Christ University. Catch us same time next week. Until then, this is Mansi signing off with a bye-bye.